Welcome everyone to a new episode, a very special episode of Source Wall. This is episode 16. We got a name for it head on. This is Snyder Strikes Back, the Return of DC. With your boy Kojay and your boy Parademon 44.
What is good, everybody? This is officially the first Source Wall since you have all got the fantastic news that this corporation that we have been going up against called Time Warner, AT&T, has been defeated. The Snyder Cut will be released on HBO Max. And the world is like, ah! And other people are like, win! And then other people are like, ah! And then there's men on mountains shooting lightning, like, ah! Yeah, all types of excitement, you know. But in all seriousness, everybody, the great moment, historic moment.
Did we defeat them or bring them over to the light side? Okay.
Like, what we did was achieve something pretty cool, pretty dope, pretty first time ever, you know. So everyone should take that in. All those that, you know, were involved, that were keeping track of this, that had friends involved with this, who were supporting their friends that were involved in this. You know that there may have been other people that, you know, may have not been on Twitter or may not have been on YouTube or any other social media, you feel me, platforms, and that were supporting this in the real world in the best way they can. So shout out to all you motherfuckers. And shout out, of course, biggest shout out to Fiona. You feel me? Big shout out to Pelly. Big shout out to Chris, Ronaldo, you know. And you know, all the people's champions in the movement that, you know, kept everybody together and fighting towards this great cause. Clap, 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 clap. We don't have an audience, but we'll do it for you. Alright.
I was trying to find that soundbite, but yeah.
I'm pass it to Kojay and let him get some enthusiasm off his chest too.
Oh man, I just feel I feel more like I could breathe again. It really is a breath of fresh air. I feel a weight lifted off my chest, but I feel I'm lifted with excitement too. Like I remember when Star Wars Episode 1 was going to drop. We all had no idea what kind of movie it was going to be, no matter what you felt about it now. But before then, the epic wonder of returning back to Star Wars in the cinemas with a brand new chapter of a saga that we loved, someone that we haven't seen before, someone that we knew about, was coming back to be experienced fresh again. That joy, that anticipation, that wonder, and that huge love for something that we see as very unique and profound is coming back.
Yes. You feel that? That's the return of DC coming over the mountain.
Yes. We see Gandalf, but it's Snyder
riding the white horse.
The sun rises behind the mountain. Oh.
But with all this goes into, you know, the news of the Snyder Cut. What will it be? When it will come out? You know, things of that nature. So I guess we'll say first and foremost, it has been announced by HBO Max, and it will be coming out. I guess I don't know, exclusively. Did it say exclusively?
They said exclusively. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I guess it'll be coming out exclusively on HBO Max. You feel me? And this is going to be a 4 hours original cut of Zack Snyder's JL, or possibly a miniseries of some fashion. Now, you know, they're saying that they could have. No, they're saying that they did give, I think, Snyder up to $30 million to complete this version.
I thought it was 20.
Justice League. No, I think it's. Well, they're saying it's up to 30. You feel me?
Oh wow!
I think it was 20 plus. So I think So I've seen a lot of reports saying that it's 30, like a lot.
Like close to 30 or on the dot?
On the dot 30, because if we're gonna say it's 20 plus, then it's probably 30. But which is even better, Because at this point, you feel me, the more money they can give him, the more shit he can do. So, you know, this thing is definitely gonna be a cleaned up, fresh project. Snyder says straight from his own mouth. There's gonna be an entirely new thing. Only 1/4 of what he shot, probably even less of that. And you feel what I mean? The Justice League, you know, abomination. So, yeah,
That was a different film, decorating itself
entirely
as the one that we were supposed to have.
Yeah,
That's messed
it
up.
was a totally different film. So, but that benefits us because I know a lot of y'all think that you know a lot. You feel what I mean? Of what's gonna happen? You know everything that's gonna happen up in the Snyder Cut. You've been following this for like 2.5 years, but you may be proven wrong, and you should be happy about that.
Yeah, you don't want to know everything.
That you haven't seen it. We haven't even caught a glimpse of any nightmare sequence in this version of the film. You feel me? Like, and Snyder has said yes, there will be another nightmare scene. There will be another nightmare sequence in Zack Snyder's Justice League, motherfucker. So there's more to come, leading us into the next conversation of what the fuck comes next. What's gonna be in it? Who's gonna be in it? What's gonna happen? Is there gonna be a JL2? Kojay.
I will tell you what I want to happen. What I want to happen is that they release the Snyder Cut, the one we've been fighting for, 214, all that. They release that, and what we get as a miniseries with a lot of what he could do with that money. And I was talking about this with Zod Rider. I was talking about this with Zod Rider on his podcast, which, by the way, check it out.
Yeah, shout out to Zod Rider.
Hell yeah!
Shout out to Zod Rider.
Yeah, before Zod Rider. So, I was on his show the night before the announcement, and I was on Go Deep with y'all, the two-parter, yesterday, after the announcement. So, with what I talked about in both, what concerns me is the web series, this talk of the miniseries. I think that should be Justice League Part 2. Because I think he has the funds and the resources to do it all. Now, he's an established guy. He has money. Money that the studio gives him, he could use to do what he wants. And he has his own resources to not have to spend maybe any money on filming equipment. He just can use a lot with all those mills to the things that he actually needs them for that he can't provide. And the guy can make a good quality movie just on an iPhone. So I feel the best thing, and the one I want, is release the damn movie as a film. Then the miniseries is his two-parter with whatever he could put together. Justice League Part 2 in miniseries form. Now, I know Mandalorian is successful on Disney Plus. It's not successful because it's a miniseries. It's successful because it's good. People who are loyal will rewatch it. And the only complaint about The Mandalorian that I know of is that it was a miniseries. That it did come out once a week. That's the only complaint I ever heard and I know about The Mandalorian. That's the only thing that sucks about it. So if you're going to look at Mandalorian and go, oh, it's a miniseries, we could take this film and chop it up into miniseries, and then that will get people's loyalty. You're fucking wrong. Again, I feel like that logic is copying the frosting and not the cake. That Zack Snyder said was the problem in Justice League, cutting up his shit. So you cut up his film just to squeeze out another buck, just like you did with Justice League. Granted, you're not touching it this time, but you're still copying the competition in the wrong way. Mandalorian is good. People didn't like it because it's a miniseries. People loved it because it's the Mandalorian. How you put it out doesn't matter.
It's also actually really a TV show. It's even made like a TV show.
It was designed to be a TV show too.
Yeah. And
again,
actually, in my opinion, it would have been cool if it came out all at once. But Mandalorian plays like kind of like an old school like 90s, 80s, or kind of like 70s, or even maybe even before like TV show. Like it's very episodic. Like and And it's designed that, and it's like it kind of plays even like kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon in some senses, where it's like where you watch an episode of the Mandalorian, and by the end of it, you kind of are satisfied for what you got by the end, in that episode. You're like, and you like, you would have wanted more, but you can live for a whole week knowing that they're gonna be like, it's not that like, I don't think that the Mandalorian is as urgent. You feel me? As Justice League,
Yes, that brings
dependent,
me to my point. That brings me to my point. Sorry to cut off, but that brings me to my point because the film was shot and told as a film. Now, an episode of a TV show is like a mini film, a short film. You go through the character introduction, the arc, the rising climax, the epiphany, and then the resolution, all that stuff you get through in
Yeah,
an
but
episode.
to
But if you
play
cut it
devil's
up,
advocate, what do you think about films that have been chopped into parts already? You feel me? Even many films in the past have already done this, even before streaming.
yeah, because if they could see where it could work, if that's where it's able to do, fine. Granted, if that is able to do here, I
And on
guess
top of that,
okay, but
let's take all
I'm just
films
still
off the
worried.
table. We have to wipe away every film that is below 3 hours. Let's do that. Take away every film that's below 3 hours in existence, and then go based off on all those films, and then the films included in those films that were and ended up being films that were cut into pieces. Like let's say, for instance, like Titanic, and that in that nature. You feel me? And how much effect did it have on those films?
Hmm.
Do you feel like how much effect did you think you feel like films like Titanic, you know, Hateful Eight, there was other films like there just like Carlos and everything. I don't know if you ever seen that. There's a lot of films you go down the line that but that's not the question. How do you think films of that nature that were so long that economically and from a business sense they felt that it needed to be chopped into parts, or you feel it, even the Harry Potter films, you feel what I mean? At the end of those, like certain films that were filmed back to back, like even Kill Bill was supposed to be one film, split into two and released a year apart from each other. So yeah,
Hmm.
what do you think of, you feel what I mean? That line of where, you feel me? Where is the line of when a film is over 3 hours and you need people to see it, but you feel what I mean? You feel like it's so damn long that you can't just fucking put it all out at once.
Hmm.
How much do you feel like that has affected films, epic films like that? I should say, because if they're over 3 hours, you could essentially say it's an epic, you know, unless it's
Hmm.
boring as shit.
This is true. It's just that some stories, I feel that there's a certain percentage of the film in the beginning that still acts as introduction, and then there is no resolution, there's no climax. And my worry about breaking up certain films, it's true you could do that with other films. You explain that very perfectly, actually. I guess it really depends on the story, and my concern is that if the film spends a certain percentage of its time with just introductory, we won't get that finished climactic end. It just might feel interrupted, and we gotta wait a whole week to pick up where we left off, where it's connected more cohesively,
Yeah,
regardless of
you know
time.
the
That's my worry
for
because I
everybody
don't trust
listening, that
that they know that.
this is not set in stone either. Just before we continue, that this is not set in stone. We don't want to get
Exactly.
anybody thinking that this is
This
for
is
a
the word
fact.
on the street.
It's either like, it's one or the other. It's either going to come as one whole super film, epic, you feel me, or it's going to be cut into a miniseries. So
Hmm.
continue, Kojay.
Yeah, because like older films, and also especially in Bollywood, the intermission part is still like in Ben Hur. Um, uh,
Yeah, perfect
Intermission is
example.
planned, and or they find it, but it's through a certain moment that it ends specifically to where it can continue to the next uh, adventure while you break or whatever. And theater has this too: Act Ones, Act Twos, Act Threes. Now, I really believe they're accidentally found, but I really believe that for the most part they're planned to be there for a reason, and you can't just find them at specific time intervals to be time uh, sensitive. We don't know if the film needs 50 minutes for introduction, or if he needs 20 minutes for introduction. And then you have another hour, which is still on rising action, or maybe Epiphany is just only 5 minutes long or something. We don't know these moments that Zack has told in his story, or any storyteller has told. So then if you cut it up in sections based on time, because you're like, okay, it's 3.5 hours, so we'll just divide it by 5. You don't know what points in the storytelling progression you're cutting off. You might be cutting introductory in half or over it and then getting into just the beginning of Epiphany or Rising Action, but then that doesn't end until the third one. It might be jarring and hurt the film experience that was meant to be a film. That's my big concern.
All right.
And
So
seeing
let
the
me
track
ask you this:
record,
for a 4 hour
yeah.
film, how would you break up a third act setup for a 4 hour film?
Like it's planned to be 4 hours, or it happens to be 4 hours.
Like let's say we're talking about Zack Snyder's Day Out. You feel me?
All right.
This is a 4 hour film and not a 3 hour film. Because if it was a 3 hour film, you can easily just say like, all right, well, just the first hour is the first act, the second hour is the second act, and the third hour is the third act, and that's easy as shit. 4 hours. You got 3 acts, like you say, for a film. You feel me? How would you break that 4 hours into 3 acts? And I'm going to have another question on top of that after that.
Yeah, I would break it up where at the points of I would break it up right after let's see. I'm trying to remember. Depending how long the little segments of introduction, rising issues, introduction of problem, rise in action, epiphany, climax, and then resolution, depending on how much time is spent on those, I would cut up where they are in accordance to like a trilogy story for 3. And that could mean part 1 might be 40 minutes, part 2 might be 56 minutes, and then the rest might be part 4. It just depends on where they are at in the story. I would cut it up. I wouldn't be hindered on time because for me, I care more about the momentum of the story rather than, oh, that's on the clock. Like, if you cut it up directly on the dot, who's to say that's like right halfway in the scene, and then Bruce Wayne is saying something. Of course, they're not going to do it like that, but he's saying a monologue right at the cutoff point, and then you're going to cut off there and then continue that scene or the tail end. It's just like weird stuff if you do. That's a dumb.
I feel what you're saying, and that leads into my next question is that then because you are right, you feel me? Like, but my next question is why can't that be done? You feel me? In a miniseries type of format. Because the way I see, when I see like the way of acts and storytelling, especially at least proper storytelling and everything too, I kind of look at it as a cycles within a cycle. You feel what I mean? Whereas in movies, they have 3 acts, generally based on how long they are. They try to fit those 3 acts in there. For me, but with TV shows, they kind of cycle the 3 acts system over and over again throughout the series. So let's say like maybe even one episode would have 3 acts where it would lead to a certain point to the story, and then it would end on a cliffhanger or be the end of the episode. And then there would be, let's say, if you add 2 more episodes to that, and then there would be like they do with animated shows a lot of the times, where it's like, all right, these 3 episodes are like an arc. You feel what I mean? And all these 3 episodes back to back are going to be, continue and be all connected, telling the same story. You feel what I mean? And then in each one of those episodes, there are arcs inside those episodes, but there's still an overarching arc, you feel me, a part of those 3 episodes. But then if you kick it to the whole season, let's say the whole season is like 9 episodes, there's still, you feel what I mean, there's still a whole overarching act going on. You feel what I mean? From the smaller episodes to the mid-season to, you feel what I mean, the overall whole season, which will be the whole series. Like, so on the big scale, there is still, the third, even though it's more complicated to see from the big scale, from when it comes to a series, there is still, the third act, the second act, the first act, the second act, and the third act. You feel me? It just plays out through a longer period of time. And then when you go into the episodes, it plays off those same rules as well. So do you not think it's possible for them to, do the same thing essentially with, with a film that, is long as fuck? Even if this film was like even if it was like 3.5, or even if it was 3 hours and 40 minutes, I would be like, that's not long enough. And that's just my opinion. You feel me? I would just say that's not long enough, and it's just not long enough. But saying that this shit is 4 hours, and it's probably going to be over 4 hours at this rate. Like, so this is, it's fucking long. You know what I mean? Like, so do you not think there's a way that they can still fit proper, storytelling, mechanics into, the release of these episodes while still also making it make sense and making it, you feel what I mean, entertaining and suspenseful and like an enjoyable experience? Like, pretty much like what I'm asking, like, we know it's supposed to be, it is a film already. That's already been, it is definitely a film already. But can it not still be just as enjoyed if it's broken down into a miniseries?
I worry that it's a no, because, like I said about that introduction, blah blah blah, climax, blah blah blah. I keep saying that. That's like the five points you hit when telling a story. Now that rhythm exists in every scene by itself, every chapter by itself, or like a TV show. Each show has its rhythm of hitting all the 5 of those arcs to get climax, resolution, blah blah. Whether it's a cliffhanger or not, that's still just the ending. So each episode works like a mini film to a bigger story, and then that's its rhythm, that's its purpose. My concern is that a film has its same rhythm of that 5-point storytelling as one episode. Now, if you were to cut parts of that episode and stretch them out for a week, that might kill the episode's enjoyment and rhythm. So I feel that one episode's accomplishment in telling a story is equivalent to the movie. The movie just has more time to be more beautiful and have detail. It takes its time telling the same story as an episode. So my worry is if you cut a film that's pretty much its own one episode into parts, you might stretch out what you're supposed to be feeling and experiencing at wrong intervals if it's just based on time. The best thing I could do,
keep that in mind though,
if they wanted to, I'd say
then,
make it a 2-parter then. That's better than an episode.
I want to ask you this then. With all that being said, do you think that Snyder is capable of turning this film into a worthwhile miniseries? Like, pretty much, I wouldn't say turning into, I would say converting it over. If this ends up being the option, do you think that he is capable of converting based on everything that he has, everything that you feel like is in that film, everything we don't know, and everything that he could add? Do you think he can turn, and also keeping in mind that he's also a cinema guy, I don't think he's ever made a TV show or worked on TV. I'm pretty sure maybe he shot some TV episodes, but you know what I mean though. Do you think he can pull it off?
If he wanted to, I believe he can. Because only he knows his work inside and out, and only he would say yes to something that he feels would fit. That's why I'm skeptical, because the more stuff I hear about episodes is coming from everyone who's not Snyder.
But Snyder did talk about it though, and that's my whole thing where it's like,
that's why I want to hear more of it.
My next question to you is, do you think Snyder went with this idea in his presentation to give fans the best shot of getting this out? Because even in the article that they're reporting, they said that it's going to be either a 4-hour film or a miniseries. Now, we can already know why they're probably considering the miniseries idea because of HBO Max, and like you and Grace Randolph said, and other people, that the possible benefits of having, in my opinion, a property that's bigger than Mandalorian coming out weekly on a brand new streaming service. So we already know why that's already on the table, but it hasn't been picked off the table yet. It's just on the table. So yeah, like, do you think that they presented it in that way and gave those two options just to get it picked up. Like I said, for fans, because at the end of the day, as much as we want to think, you feel what I mean, Zack Snyder is some super idealistic guy that, you feel what I mean, is gonna fall, but just that in general, some super idealistic guy, you feel what I mean. We have to think that he has to have a decent amount of business sense, that he's not just gonna fucking go in there like some snobby artist and be like, my way or the highway. He had to
Right.
make this make sense to these motherfuckers. You feel what I mean? He had to say something to make it make sense in them and make them be like, all right, we're gonna do it. He couldn't just, put on a fucking fancy art show about the Snyder Cut and be like, well, how are we gonna sell it then? Well, it sells itself. It's the Snyder Cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to
Yeah.
make sense, and he did. So, yeah, like I said, do you think that's the only reason why this is on the table?
No, I think that I feel from what it sounds like a negotiation tactic.
Yeah,
Maybe they're trying to see how we react, and then they'll sell it to the most popular one. I think it's almost like a
I agree,
compromise, a
Kojay.
business compromise, because uh, if they were really thinking hard about it, I don't think they would announce it that it's going to be this way or this way. We don't know. It's such a short amount of time, or maybe it's not. If it's early 2021, maybe it's not. Maybe it is a short amount of time, but it feels like
Yeah, I
a
feel you.
business compromise, and they're still trying to figure things out. But it's definitely coming out. I'm thankful for that. My main concern is I just want to make sure that I hope it's not a compromise at the artistic integrity sense.
No, I don't think it's gonna be a compromise. You know why? Because at
Why?
the end of the article, Snyder says that has a quote where he says that WB pretty much lived up to their reputation as a filmmaker's studio, and that means a lot. You feel what I mean? He would not
Mm-hmm.
say that and give them that. You feel what I mean? That clout, or that, you feel what I mean? You know, that shining review. You feel what I mean? Like, if you feel me, if he felt like, you feel me, that they are about to get over on him on somebody, or already got over on him. Like, the fact that him saying that lets me know that, yeah, like, Snyder's gonna get his way. And on top of that, Ronaldo was talking about, mentioned on Go Deep. If y'all haven't listened to the new Go Deeps recently, check him out. He mentioned how Snyder will have, final cut. You feel me? After this, final cut say after this. I didn't get to, I was gonna, follow up with him on that so I can get a verification of exactly what he meant, or if it was just if a few was just, if it was just as straight as he said, like, you feel what I mean, that he's gonna get final cut after all this. But after this podcast, I'm gonna try to talk to him and see if he can, just verify that, to just say it to me again. like, you know what I'm saying? I
Because
just
how
want to
he
hear him
said it
say
was
it
very
again.
smart.
Yeah, like, so maybe this is not even a thing that we have to worry about, because, maybe Snyder maybe we've moved, helped Snyder moved up a notch in, you know what I mean, the ranking of filmmakers. And maybe he'll get final cut on his films after this. So, that's cool, but this also leads, we don't want to dwell on, the technical shit so much and everything. We know y'all want to, talk about some of the cool and more interesting things about this awesome news and everything. So this also brings us into the next conversation pretty smoothly, which is, what's going to be in the Snyder Cut. You feel me? Who's going to be in the Snyder Cut? And also the Ayer Cut, which AT&T, you feel me, WB, and a few, well, I think AT&T and Warner Media and all that have been showing a lot of love to David Ayer today and yesterday and everything. A lot of people are speculating that we could even be getting the Ayer cut too. And
Not
on
just
top of that,
speculation, but
there's
yeah.
rumor of Superman returning. You feel me? Henry Cavill rating up his contract, and people are saying that we could get news of this very soon, maybe even in the next few days. So, Kojay, start with the Snyder Cut though, because we don't want to dwell off that too fast. What do you think is going to be in it? What do you want to be? What do you want to be in it? Also, cameos. Do you think there will be any special cameos that Snyder will add based on actors that have shown him some love through this, whole ordeal?
Yo, I think we're going to get our Ray Porter. I think we're going to get our Sam. We're going to get our Green Lantern. We're going to get our Martian Manhunter. We're definitely getting them because they're on the hoodie. If you got the hoodie or the long sleeve, I don't know if it's on long sleeve, but the hoodie.
Yeah, I have the long sleeve hoodie.
Yeah, I had to get the hoodie because the hoodie had the logos on the arms, and you see Martian
Yeah, I have
Manhunter's
that
logo
one.
and Green Lantern's logo. You don't just slap that on merchandise for your film without reason.
Some of the
So,
shirts had the logos on the sleeves, on like the rim of the sleeves. I think.
I have
If
to
I'm
look
not
again,
mistaken.
but I just love that hoodie so much. So, we're gonna get our Green Lantern. We're gonna get our Martian Manhunter. We're gonna get our Darkseid. And if we get all them, we're definitely getting Decide. Because,
Oh, Decide is definitely in it. Decide is in it.
yeah, because he was talking to him. And we're gonna get to see Victor Stone's mom. We're gonna get to see more of that story flushed out, and it's its own arc in its sense, and I can't wait for that because I'm hyped for Cyborg, and they said Cyborg's the heart of the film. So we're gonna get old school Jimmy Olsen, actor from the Richard Reeve Superman, who is playing that prison guard. We're gonna get him as a cop in Heroes Park during the Superman attack. We're gonna get more action that we know is breathtaking, and like I think we're gonna get like Sucker Punch level meets Man of Steel action with the warehouse fight scene in BVS. We're gonna get all that. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be epic, and we're gonna get a serious tone, and the music is gonna be in sync, and we are going to get that sense of stakes and threats, and these heroes need to do this for this reason, and we're going to see the personalities shine, and they're going to be real and not forced, and they'll be interacting with each other because they didn't get to do that in Justice League, so it won't look like a weird audition run in front of people who are cut pasted together. So we're just going to get a lot of quality. That's the best thing we're going to see.
All right. So, who do you think? You think there's going to be any special cameos in this one? Do you think might pop up, or any
I
extra
mean, Iris
characters?
West, but that's not really a cameo. That's a character in it.
People are saying Dave Bautista might pop up in the Snyder Cut. Him actually being, I don't know if you know that he's actually the main.
He's in the
He's
Army
supposed
of
to be the
Dead.
main. Yeah, he's the main character in Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's upcoming film on Netflix. So, and oddly enough, there's a lot of people that want to see Ryan Reynolds pop up in some capacity and redeem his Green Lantern role, which would. I'll be honest, if you would have asked me a year ago, you feel me, or even definitely 2 years ago, I would have told you I don't give a fuck about that. But now I kind of think that would be cool now. So,
I mean, it could work
do that.
because that film ended with him going to Oa in space. And we could arguably say that he got stuck there for whatever drama or reason. Maybe they're finding the Anti-Monitor or something. And the Manhunters, but, who knows. That would be an easy way to throw in him, and that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but yeah, who else do you think, Kojay? Because I know.
Well, I
you may
think Green
know,
Lantern's role is the cameo.
but come on, we already assumed Green Lantern would be in it.
Yeah, but as a cameo, I don't
saying
think he's
Green
gonna be
Lantern
like a
isn't
fight
gonna
guy,
be in it. It's
like
like
John
saying
John.
Martian Manhunter is gonna be in it. We know he's gonna be in it. Like,
No, but I'm saying is I think they are the cameos, and I think we're definitely going to get Deathstroke for show. And he's coming out of a hangar, it looks like.
yeah, Joe Manganiello was teasing, the end credit scene of the original end credit scene of,
Oh, shit.
the Snyder Cut.
Wasn't there talk
he-
of a scene of Harley Quinn and Joker getting caught by the Justice League?
No, there was the scene of it was about Harley Quinn and Joker getting broken out of prison by
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. But
Mhm.
that also could have just been a scene about Joker getting broken out, or they, like, no, that I got that wrong. It's a scene about Deathstroke breaking Lex Luthor out of prison,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. There's that one.
Harley Quinn and
Okay.
Joker are allegedly supposed to be in it or something along those lines, and like they're in the same prison that Lex Luthor is in. But we'll see with that, you know. But past that, I think, of course, there's a cyborg origin and all that stuff, and I would love to see more about Flash and everything too.
Flash
Like,
and Iris, man.
I can't wait to see, from what I mean, the stuff that they have about the new gods set up in this film. Especially hopefully I hope they not only do they bring up Apocalypse, but also New Genesis. Like if they, I hope they just bring it. I don't want to be a huge info dump, but hope they mention New Genesis and everything too. We also can get some name drops of other, you feel what I mean, of other characters in the New Gods lore. You feel me? Maybe they can talk about some of the characters on Genesis, like Orion or Big Barda or High Father or something, because like it has to come into play at some point. I know everybody fucking loves, you feel me, Dark Side and Apocalypse and all that, but I feel like people a lot of the times forget that it's a whole nother flip side to the New Gods lore. There is also New Genesis. You feel what I mean? And there's a whole which is pretty much space heaven. You feel what I mean? There's a whole slew of characters over there and everything too. It's a whole. They're both connected through a whole deep lore. You feel me? So hopefully, you feel me. If we're gonna get one, we get some of the other. I think that would be dope. Especially if they're gonna be going into the history lesson and all that. Maybe they won't dive straight into it immediately because then maybe they don't want to give too much up away of the new guy's history. But maybe at the end of the film, we could get something. And on top of that, there's also other we got to talk about the Apocalypse characters, obviously, but we'll see Darkseid, Desaad. Hopefully we'll be able to see other characters, maybe Grail and a few other characters that are already in there that we don't know about. I personally feel like there's characters and scenes and stuff that are already in there and shot that we just haven't seen and we just don't know about. So yeah, it's a lot of it is really interesting, and I'm also in the camp that I wouldn't mind if they did shoot some substantial additional things and added, you know, some things, even if he wanted to change the storyline a little bit to include some cool things. I think that would be amazing. You know what I mean? I'm the person. I'm the type at this point where it's like this is beyond just like Zack Snyder releasing his cut of how what's supposed to be as is. Like it makes me so happy that you feel me that he can do whatever he wants and finish up his project however he sees fit. I think that's even better than them just saying like, all right, you have what you shot already, just finish that up and then put that out. That would be great. It would definitely be fucking awesome, and we may get it sooner. But the who can deny more? You feel what I mean? So, and I trust Snyder, so I think whatever additions he's gonna add in there is gonna be something fucking worthwhile, even if it's just more dark side, like straight up. So yeah, other than that, I can't really. I don't like without going into a real in-depth conversation. I can't really go into like what else I want to see more, but like because I don't want to start going on a Batman rant or a Wonder Woman rant or a Cyborg rant. But like, yeah, I want to see more of those characters. The black suit Superman. I can't wait to see how Superman returns. All that shit. But anyway, Ayer cut though. What do
Wait,
you think
wait,
of that, my
before that,
friend?
I do want to add to that topic, and then we'll jump to
Yeah,
Ayer
go
Cut. I'll
for it.
lead into Ayer Cut too from this. Um, Here's the only, well, two things I really want for absolute victory. I want some organized apology to Zack Snyder and his family. Uh, and I'll take that in any form. Either they let him have his a spotlight moment, or they do a red carpet thing, or they do some little uh, documentary, something where they could just let the man tell his story of what happened, and in some way they could just support him, and that would be a good apology, or just a straight up apology. That'd be nice. And this is all for Autumn also, which is very important. And I could see that in like Ray Fisher's video too. So I trust Zack. If he has it come out in whatever form, I'll be happy. I will embrace it, because that's the beautiful thing that we were fighting for. The only thing I am lingering is I just hope that they don't still try and have their way, or a compromise that he doesn't have creative control. But as long as if it's not that, then I'm cool.
Man,
I'm just
WB
still
is
worried
chumped
about
right
that,
now,
bro.
Kojay.
I'm
They
still
are
worried,
chumped.
bro. I don't want
They
them
are
to dick him over
chumped.
again.
They are chumped. They don't got no shade. Fuck them.
All right, but hey, that's why I'm coming hard on that topic, because I want to make sure that I just want to be like, yo, Zach, if you're hearing this, I want to make sure that you're happy and you have total control to be satisfied with this. Then I'm satisfied. I just want to be sure. I just want to hear from the man in more detail of how that works, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. But until I hear it, I'm going to be protective of my boy. So that's where
I
I'm going
feel
with
that.
because he's been
Hell
through too
yeah.
much, and we've been through too much with him, but he's got more. So I don't want any of that coming ever again his way. Now that,
Cheers.
yeah. So with that victory for us, I think that helps our little brother or little sister, Suicide Squad. I'm feeling that we don't have to try too hard to
Big
get that
brother,
one out, bro.
technically, because Suicide Squad came out before Justice League.
Yeah, but I think the meat of the story is like, okay, well, yeah, that is eldest brother. Okay, fine. Older brother that got screwed over. It's still our brother, or
We
sister, I
haven't
should say.
forgotten about you,
We haven't
brother.
forgotten about our brother, sister, It's like, hey, I think this paves the way for that, which was the ripple that caused, was the pebble
Do you
drop
need
in
me?
the
Want me
pond that
to
caused
fill
this
you in
ripple.
on some stuff real quick, or were you able to see any of this,
I
the
did see
news on Twitter and
AT&T's
all that?
responses. Those ones, right?
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
go in
so
then,
people are
man.
saying release the Ayer cut, and I think that's going to happen soon because they need more content. And the best thing about that is AT&T and HBO Max have been replying to people's tweets about will you release the Ayer cut with winks or gifs from Suicide Squad in a positive way. So, and even David Ayer himself uh, replied to one of them. I think it was from HBO Max, where he's like, "Yo, I'm on standby." So, I have a feeling Ayer cut is imminent. Before or after? I hope before Snyder Cut. That'd be a good hype to hype up Snyder Cut more, and also hype up Ayer cut. Because it'd be like, "Yo, we know you're gonna ask this right after Justice League, so we're gonna give it to you now ahead of time." It's like, dang, you guys are on top of it. That's gonna bring in so much loyalty and love, because I already know I'm pretty much there. They give me that Ayer cut, shit.
Yeah, and I want to add to
Shit.
that and say that if you go on, social media, or you feel me, even, other other aspects where you can see some marketing, just check out how, like, just overnight, like how much engagement the fans are getting, not only from the HBO Max
But ATT,
marketing team, but AT&T itself. Like, the AT&T marketing team is also in full swing, engaging with fans
they
about
replied to me
DC,
twice.
about the Snyder Cut. Yeah, like, you feel what I mean? They're all in this shit. You feel me? They're even talking about the Ayer Cut. You feel me? They're replying to tweets about the Ayer Cut directly. You feel what I mean? They're replying to David Ayer directly. Hold on. Give me a second. I want to read this. Yep. And this is a tweet where it says someone asked for AT&T to released the Ayer cut, and AT&T replies with a Wonder Woman gift and says one thing at a time. And they've been replying to people saying that a lot. They've even saying like one thing at a time or one battle at a time. I've been seeing like one battle at a time a lot coming from them. And Dave Ayer retweets and says standing by, and
That's the
AT&T
one.
also comments back to that with a Harley Quinn gift from Suicide Squad. So they're paying close attention now, and this is, if you want to see the Ayer cut and all that, and you want to see this keep going, this is the time to be vocal. Open your mouth about it, go hard about it. You feel what I mean? It is the time. You feel what I mean? DC is back. It is about to be full swing with this shit. A full revamp, a full return to how it's supposed to be. This shit like Back to the Future 2 out here.
This is Back to the Future 2, Terminator 2, RoboCop 2. This is the best sequel situation that we're in right now, man. It's like, if I could turn back time, it's happening. Sometimes when you get lost, the best way is to go back to the beginning when it was good.
Yeah, so shout out to, all the Joker fans out there, because I know there's a lot of Joker fans that are happy with the Joker that they got already, but there's other Joker fans that still are holding on hope to seeing, you feel me, that Leto Joker.
Brilliance of Jared Leto.
Yeah, that's just sitting there, you feel what I mean, probably on the shelf somewhere, and that film can not only use a lot more Joker, but a lot more fucking character development too. And maybe they can do something about that third act. You never know. You know what I mean? Man. Even Katana can get some more scenes. So
I want more Katana, and I know that she has more importance. I'm sick of our Asian characters being cut out and put down.
Yeah, so this is the time to rally behind this. Like,
Ryan Choi.
Whatever gripes or info or anything that you have on this, the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, let it be known. Hit Twitter, hit YouTube, make your videos about it. While the iron is hot, strike. Even David Ayer, you feel me? He's actively talking about this, posting stuff about this now. So the gates are open, and to let you know that we're not gassing that the gates are open, there is also talks that, you feel me, Superman will be coming back. Henry Cavill might be reading up his contract, or maybe already did as we speak. This could also be tied into the Snyder Cut deal. So Henry Cavill could be coming back with that fabled and not as fabled as the Snyder Cut, but we can say that's the little brother. You feel me? The little brother fabled. You feel what I mean? The little fable. You feel me? Quietly talked about Man of Steel 2. Will it happen? You feel me? Will we finally get it? Will we see it? I think BVS is Man of Steel 2. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is, but hey, will they give Henry Cavill another solo Superman film?
Man of Steel 2 would really be Man of Steel 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a word. I think it's like Lion King 2.5. It's inserted in between or somewhere, or it's a bonus, or it's like a DLC.
Let's just call it Man of Tomorrow.
Steel 2. Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. But Man of Tomorrow, let's say Man of Tomorrow, that could happen after Justice League like he intended, and that would be beautiful. Or if they really want to take off,
what do you
it
think
could be
about
that
Man of Tomorrow? When did it come in? We think it's going to be a prequel, take place before or after, Justice League or BVS, or where do you think it's going to stand, and when do you think we can hear about it, if it is really coming?
Well, and we're talking about DCEU. We're not talking about the animated Man of Tomorrow coming out.
No, we're talking about the DCU live action Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I believe Man of Tomorrow.
Snyderverse, nigga.
Yeah, so we talk about Snyder's 5-film arc, and I think, me personally, I think it's the films that he made. So I think Man of Tomorrow takes place after Justice League, because if it's his perfect vision, it would be he directed Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League Part 1, Justice League Part 2, and the 5th one, Man of Tomorrow. All Superman films, or all films including Superman for the Superman arc, hence the 5-movie arc by Zack Snyder. So I say it would be after.
Alright. So after Justice League 2 and 3, you think they're going to do the Man of Tomorrow?
Yep.
So what about this talking speculation that, now we have to talk about it, now we have to talk about it now, you feel me? Like, Superman versus Black Adam. They would not shut the fuck up about it. Well, I can't believe I'm saying that because we just got the Snyder Cut. We didn't shut the fuck up about that. Hey!
Hmm.
But they have equally not shut the fuck up about this. Not equally, but not at all equally. Nowhere near as equally. What the fuck am I talking? I take that back. They just haven't been shutting the fuck up about it. And as you know, they've been teasing this for a while, talking about this. People were not really feeling it, not really on board with this idea of, the Superman comeback, you feel me, in the wake of the Snyder Cut and everything that happened with Justice League. But now, with the Snyder Cut coming, Zack Snyder's Justice League coming, there's definitely a fucking renewed interest in this whole Superman versus Black Adam thing. So, without fucking talking about Shazam at all, what do you think, Kojay?
I think we're going to see Superman in the Black Adam movie. I think the Black Adam movie will take place in the past and in our time. I think there'll be a time loop or something like that, but whatever. I think Superman will be in Black Adam, and it'll be in our time when they duke it out. And I think Black Adam will win, and it'll be a setup for Shazam 2.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that this is all right? Let's just wrap up this, and then let's go into our full wrap up of this whole discussion. Well, not the whole not the wrap up of the podcast, but the discussion.
Yeah.
Talk about
this chapter.
So there's been heavy talk that not only just straight talk, but also whisper talk. I don't know why people are whispering about it, but people are talking about it straight up. But there's a lot of talk that, you feel me, that we got everything back. Like, everything's coming back. The original vision, possibly, the original set of films and ideas that they had coming down the line before, all this bullshit happened, So with that, keeping that in mind, Black Adam was already in the works, for a while, even before all this stuff happened and everything. So do you think this is true, and how are they going to tie all this together? You feel me? That's my question. Like, do you, like, two questions. Like, you think it's all true that, Snyder is back, as we see it now, you feel me? We will get even Will, shout out to Will. I have to, check out his post again to verify, but he was talking about how Justice League Part 2 has been updated on his IMDb Pro account and everything. When they say, like, oh, anybody can update that. So that's why I say I'm going to look at his tweet again and look into it and maybe even talk to him about it. So there's also that Will, that they're, Will saying that, they already updated IMDb for Justice League 2.
Yep, I saw that.
That's not the Snyder Cut. You feel me? It's just a Justice League Part 2. So there's also a lot of other films in the works and everything. So how substantial do you think it is that well, I'll just actually say that. Do you think Snyder is coming back to do JL2, JL3, you feel me, Cyborg film? There's already been a Flash film in the works. We don't really have to worry about Cyborg or Wonder Woman. Not Cyborg, I mean Aquaman or Wonder Woman for right now. So yeah, even like we talked about, Joe Manganiello was teasing the end credit scene with Batfleck. We don't know if that will be changed based on what they'll add into the film. But if they're gonna keep that in there, you feel me? Which I hope they do. Most likely they will. I don't see him taking it out. But if they're definitely going to keep that in there, does that set up the Batfleck film? Like, what does this all mean, Kojay? Hey, so many implications.
This could be the apology and the answer in one. Letting Zack have range to do what he wanted to finish or continue, just for a little bit of time, and seeing how successful that is. It's not too difficult to get the old blueprints of the old plan and just lay it over this plan that they originally were talking to James Wan and Snyder about doing original content, and go, hey, this could be the original content. There's a market for it. And if people love it, like it looks like the numbers are good chance that everyone's going to love Snyder Cut, they're going to want more, and then they can be like, finally, we have our MCU. What we had from the beginning, the DCEU. and we'll just take care of it, and the fans will take care of us because they know that's true. They seen that's how we did Subway. That's how we did everyone who supported us. Even like even the Harley Quinn show, they see that there's something special there, and they know now the best way to apologize to Zack Snyder is to go back on that plan, give it a start, and if it takes off, then they don't really have to try hard, but just encourage the direction that they should have gone in. But now maybe everyone realizes it now, and then they'll give back, and then boom, they have their successful franchise, which was there
All right, so
all along.
hold on. We have,
and then they can start all the stuff, Cyborg.
Hold up, Kojay. We have an exclusive from the cultured nerd, infamous for putting the nail in the coffin of Jeff Johns. Y'all got that. I'll give y'all that. You feel me? I got that. So exclusive from them. They saying headline from Marcus Panum. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but exclusive. Zoic Studios to work on FX for Snyder Cut and Ayer Cut. So I haven't read this yet at all. I'm just saying exactly. I'm just saying this right now. You feel me? I just hopped on my phone right now. A motherfucker's talking about this. So I'm about to read it to myself and to you
just
when
so
everyone
know,
else
right
hasn't
now,
checked it.
Right now it's 10:01 p.m. LA time, Pacific Standard Time. So that's the time it's happening right now on the 21st of May. Carry on, brother.
All right, so this is from this is from, like I said, Culture Nerd. You feel me? Nail in Coffin, Jeff Johns. Continue. You feel me? The VFX studio, Zoic Studios, Lucy in the Sky and Mother, has been tapped by Stone Quarry, Zack Snyder's production company, to complete remaining VFX work for Zack Snyder's Justice League and David Ayer Suicide Squad director's cut. Multiple sources close to the Culture Nerd have revealed. This comes following the huge announcement Wednesday that Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League would be hitting HBO Max in 2021. Many changes are in order to complete the Snyder's vision. Zoic Studios will be working on some of the VFX. Their contributions include adjustments to Superman's iconic black suit and reversions of Steppenwolf and the parademons to the original appearances. Zoic is expecting this will take them approximately 3 months to work to complete, reshoots not included. Well, I think I think they mean additional scenes. Zoic is one of the multiple studios who will be working on the Snyder Cut. We can also report that David Ayer is indeed getting the Ayer Cut, the original version of Suicide Squad, going under production name Airwolf. The film will feature Enchant's original plot with mother boxes and apocalyptians, as well as the deal she made with Joker in the third act. Ayer Suicide Squad will pave the way for Steppenwolf's arrival in Snyder's Justice League. Zoic Studios has also been hired for VFX for Ayer Suicide Squad. So they expect their work on this film to take approximately 9 months. Stay tuned for more news from the Snyder Cut and the Ayer Cut as they develop. So,
wow.
Be happy. I just read to you, bitches.
Wow.
So, what do you think, man?
Wow. I think what I thought before. I was right. It happened during this podcast. So, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you think,
Put that bass in that voice, nigga. What do you say, Kojay?
What?
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, man. What do I think is, hey, I don't know how, accurate or reputable Culture Nerd is. All I do know is that they smoke Jeff Johns like, you feel what I mean, like a rat on a damn fence. You feel me? You feel me? They obliterated him. And other than that, I give them the respect for that because it was a long time waiting for us. People in the know. Someone just finally coming out and just airing this dude. You feel what I mean? And we all had to take a lot of fucking shit for just talking about it and trying to get people to acknowledge how we fucked this shit up, and they did it. And you feel me? And I wouldn't say, they was the ones that broke it, but they were the ones that, you feel me, helped because there was a mountain building of this shit, of just trying to get at this dude Jim Johns, and they were the cherry on top. They were the ones that put that cherry on top, that broke that seal. You feel me? And then once they put it out there, we got enough people behind it to finally fold and just accept it. You feel what I mean? So shout out to them for that. As far as what they're saying about this, like I felt like people are so hyped and just riding off the high of, the Snyder Cut coming. Everyone feels like anything is possible now. So yeah, I want to believe them and think like, yeah, they could be right, but like we won't know until it's announced. But I like I said, even I believe that the fact that the Snyder Cut is coming, like anything is possible. You feel me? The Ayer cut could be coming before the Snyder Cut. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's pretty dope. And it'd be dope if we can get that shit too. Alright, so if this turns out to be true, then motherfucker, fuck a backflip, motherfucker will be doing double jump backflips
Dang,
like
I'm just so
Mario.
happy right now. Crap. I want to give a random shout out to a bunch of people right now who are very important. I want to give a shout
Yeah,
out to
go for
Game
it.
Buffet. Yeah, I want to give it. This is for Ayer Cut specifically. I'm going to give a shout out to Game Buffet at Too Much Food. Shout out to Mighty Pegasus 88. You know who that is. Stuntman Mike. Retrograve Productions. Deacon Allo Toy, also known as Black Suit Cavill Minifig. Is Zack Snyder Justice League the Snyder Cut, sorry. Heat Shah, Court of Owls, Boomborks, Venom Hawkeye, I'm sorry, Burbank Isaac, Will Rollins, and just a shout out to all you gentlemen. Good work. We did it. These guys I really know wanted and were passionate for Ayer Cut, and that's just a beautiful article right there. Thank you, nerd. Thank you, culture nerd. Wow. 44?
This is Ben. If y'all can hear this, Ben.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess Ben Affleck went on Kevin Smith's podcast, and he thanked the fans about the Snyder Cut. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
dang.
see
Everything's
what
happening.
he says.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it on there live, but very excited. Zach's getting a chance to finally see his vision realized. Great thing. I'm really excited for fans to get to see it. And I want to say thank you to the fans because it was their enthusiasm and their passion that made it happen. Without the fan support, I don't think it ever happened. And I love Zach and I love his version of the movie and I look forward to getting a chance to see it. What up, Smith?
Yeah, it seemed kind
That's
of
beautiful.
speechless in a sense, but yeah, you heard him. You heard
That
it
was
pretty well.
beautiful. I'll put that volume louder on our show, but I heard it.
Word dope. That was Ben. That was Batfleck himself. Thanking the
Man,
fans, thanking Zack Snyder, saying, yeah, it's dope that he gets this opportunity. While Collider hates in the corner.
well, Collider's Collider. But, wow, I just felt how beautiful this moment is, man. We are getting the cast and crew that we fought for, given thanks and love back. And they are actually happy too because they equally wanted it out as well. It's like this unified celebration in our hearts. It's just really freaking beautiful right now.
Yeah, you're right. Someone says on Twitter, Adam Turney. I actually think this is a good tweet. He said he's a check mark too. So Comic Book Resources says Justice League the Snyder Cut decision teaches fans the wrong lesson. And
What?
Adam says this. He said it teaches fans the wrong lesson. And Adam says this is a dumb article. Sorry, I know it's clickbait, but whatever. It's not fan toxicity, quote unquote, that started the release of Snyder Cut movement. It was the fact that the Snyder Cut already existed. Boom. Yep.
Beautiful right there. That's the gold. That's the golden truth right there.
Golden truth.
Yeah. We are
That's
here
our talk.
because of Zack Snyder's work, and that his work is the driving force behind this magnificence, you know, of a lot of passion and quality, honest, good work being put into something that we care about so much that we feel that creating such a film and a story requires the same amount of passion and care and daring to take risks, and it meets full circle. And that's such a beautiful thing. Love it or hate it, it's just eye captivating, and that is the driving force behind it. Not to mention, of course, the people, the love, the loss, and the lessons that go along with it as well. It's a real thing, and it's powerful, and it shows that if we all get together to care for something that means something, we can achieve wonders, man.
Word.
That's
Well
Snyder
said,
Cut.
my man.
That's Snyder Cut.
Well, anything else you want, you want to dig into, or?
No, I'm feeling kind of like I just want to relax and have a beer. This is a good time.
All right, I feel you. So I'll just end with two questions then, and then you can bounce the same ones back to me or different ones. What
What's
are
up?
you looking forward to in the Snyder Cut the most? And you feel me? What DC anything are you looking forward to past the horizon of the Snyder Cut?
I'm looking forward to it's a combination of the music and mood. That's the one. And the pacing. I'm sorry, but that is what I love the
All
most
right,
about it.
all right, I feel you, man.
And also, I just want Cyborg's story big time. This is going to be, because Superman and Cyborg, those are my two favorite characters in DC Comics. This is going to be my Cyborg movie, and I want that.
I hear you, yo.
Yeah.
All
What
right,
about you?
so what other DC thing do you want to see past the Snyder? It can be Zack Snyder's JO too, for all I care. I would like to see that.
I definitely want to
But
see
what,
that. I want to see him continue it there.
so Zack Snyder too? That you would like to see?
I want him another film that
I
deals
feel you,
with
man.
Justice League. So Justice League Part 2, in whatever form he feels it can happen. Because I know he rewrote Justice League, the Snyder Cut. It's not the... It might be an abridged of 1 and 2, or it might be a different version of just 1 without the 2. But I would like to see him take us to that nightmare sequence world and see what happens. If just that story could just be why Barry shows up in the Batcave, I don't care. I just want to see that nightmare world again. The
Word.
story behind it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I want to see the
We get
nightmare sequence.
Snyder Cut in
Definitely.
that'd be great. That could full circle trilogy right there.
Yeah, I want to see the I want to see more parademons for sure. Hell, fucking yeah, more parademons.
That's what's
You know?
about.
And I can't wait to see more like the action sequences of the team teaming up and fighting together. We finally get to see the history lesson and all that. Like
The
that would be
action
dope.
is gonna be good.
But yeah, past other films I would want to see when it comes to other any other things past the Snyder Cut. I hope you know this picks up more traction for a cyborg film. You know,
Hey, that would be wonderful. Can you imagine?
yeah, and if not, in a Batfleck film or something. If they can do like one Batfleck film, I would be alright with that. Even if it's not in theaters, if they can put it directly on HBO Max or whatever. You feel me? Like I don't even care. You feel me? Because I guess they're gonna do that Robert Pattinson Batman, so they may not want to undercut, bruh. But I would want to see that too.
That could happen
But
because
yeah,
Ben Affleck did go on a Netflix original. with Oscar
Yeah.
Isaac, so he wouldn't be foreign to it. And it is the next big thing is that the selling point for streaming service originals is having one or two big name stars, and that is also a good thing to have under your belt when it's good, because there's a certain caliber now. So that is very possible.
I
We
also
can
think
see
that's why
Batfleck
Henry
again.
Cavill ultimately folded too, because
I think so.
yeah, he had so much success on Netflix with The Witcher that they eventually probably had to come together. Like, yo, we can use the Snyder Cut and use this momentum and push to actually like kick off a lot of shit. You feel what I mean? Like,
That too, but I also think.
it's all gonna domino off each other. The Snyder Cut's announced, and everyone's hyped for Justice League. Then everyone's hyped for Superman. Then Superman comes back, and then everyone's hyped for more Superman and more DC. And then you feel me? Just keep snowballing and snowballing. Like that's what we were telling him to do the whole time.
Because that's what I think they're going to do with Henry Cavill's team. I think his team, Dwayne Johnson and Garcia, is that like that little group right there. I think they're seeing like, dang, Witcher was great, and this is all great. What do we have in our corner at WB? And they see what they got, and then they look back at what they had. Snyder can give them that level of The Witcher and all that stuff and more, And Dwayne Johnson likes quality. He does, because he invested personally in Snitch. I feel that's a great film too, but that was really realistic, gritty, and very passionately driven. And they can see, smart money can see, Zack Snyder can take it beyond that level in the comic book movie genre perfectly with ease.
Yeah,
and I think they want to work with him so they have access to that resource.
I would love to see The Rock's Black Adam in the Snyderverse. If it's not in the Snyderverse and it's some whole different, like, nah. Like, in the Snyderverse, yeah, it would fit perfectly. It would. If The Rock goes with it and runs with it, he will be doing something so smart, man. Like, because based on what everything Snyder already set up, Black Adam can fit in there perfectly. Do not fuck this shit up, Rock. Do not fuck this shit up, Henry Cavill.
You guys could have your own Man of Steel with Black Adam and Superman going at it. I'm telling you. Just like I answered your previous question. Imagine my answer, but in that Man of Steel style. That'd be beautiful.
My apologies, but any last words?
No, I feel pretty good. Congratulations, everybody. We released a Snyder Cut. And for us, for Zack Snyder, and we'll still do our best for donating to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And this is all for Autumn too. All for Autumn.
Yeah. Seems like everyone's gonna be celebrating all week and probably even longer. But the movement hasn't dissolved at all. So I expect people to still be kicking and pushing and moving, and we're probably gonna just ride this shit out until the whole universe hits the end.
Yeah.
We'll probably call this quits when JL3 comes out.
Yeah, man. I feel like we just finished disc 1 of a 3-disc JRPG. We finished the battle there, and then we're playing a whole new disc now. But things are going good because we're closer to the end, and we've like leveled up. We've got some respect here of what should have been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
You heard it from the man himself, Zack Snyder. Release the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's JL. It's coming HBO Max 2021. About to rip shit to shreds.
Hell yeah.
Well, we gotta end this shit the old classic way, Ian.
Yeah, can we say it now? I think we can still say it now because it hasn't released yet, right?
Hell yeah. Release the Snyder Cut, bitches. Motherfuckers.
Punctuation.
Lame ass cornball. Let me stop.
Alright. Much love.